Celtic were formed nearly 125 years ago in the east end of Glasgow by a Maris brother from Sligo called Walfrid and a group of like-minded local businessmen. They'd one aim: to put food on the dinner table of widows, orphans and unemployed. The establishment of the club in the late 1887 at St Mary's Church in the Carlton ensured that not only Glasgow's Irish immigrants had a better chance, but that anyone who needed the help of the club could get it. That policy of being open to all, regardless of race, creed or colour, has differentiated Celtic from that day, and those values ring true still. Celtic's core value is that of a Scottish club with proud Irish roots, and charity in 2011 is as much part of the club's DNA as it was towards the end of the 19th century. Celtic quickly became a force to be reckoned with, and after they'd built a solid side, they soon went on to become the team of the day, winning 6 consecutive championships in the first decade of the 20th century. That was the first of many firsts, but even that achievement, as great as it was, could be eclipsed as the club grew and developed. Celtic were the first team to win 9 consecutive championships under Jock Stein, and the first team to win all 5 available trophies in one season. But they were also the first team from the UK to win the European Cup and the only Scottish club ever to do so. The fact that they achieved it with 11 local guys only adds to the mystique of the Celtic story. And along the way, heroes have been created and celebrated. Willie Maley, Patsy Gallagher, Jimmy McGrory, the Prince of Goalkeepers Johnny Thompson, Billy McNeil, Jimmy Johnson and the rest of the Lisbon Lions all earned hero status among the faithful. And there have been many more, including the likes of Paul McStay, Roy Aitken, Kenny Dalglish, Danny McGrain, Henrik Larsson, John Hartson, Chris Sutton. Not forgetting the current group managed by one of the biggest heroes of them all, Irishman Neil Lennon. And as Celtic has grown, its fan base has grown with it, from its humble roots serving as impoverished immigrants to the worldwide support it enjoys today. Celtic remains a club at the heart of the community, and the late Tommy Burns, one of 16 managers to serve the club, described it as like playing for a people and a cause. Celtic aligns itself to 3 core principles: footballing excellence, also known as the Celtic way, commercial expertise, and sat at the heart of the club's culture is an ethos of social inclusion and charitable giving through Celtic Charity Fund. From helping teenage cancer sufferers to ensuring local kids have a present to open on Christmas Day, right through to alleviating hunger in East Africa, Celtic and its charitable roots remain as strong in 2011 as they were in the 1880s, and will continue to grow with the backing of the best supporters in the world.
With Ned Bolting.
That's right, Angus, the two gentlemen have been deep in conversation, presumably comparing notes. Back in the old stomping ground, Martin, you're managing the Celtic team. And what a great show the club have put on, and the supporters tonight.
Well, it's staggering, really. But Gordon and I have just been speaking before we came on air. Just can't believe it. You know, there's going to be a full house here tonight to watch basically a crowd of Croc players, and no, it'll be fantastic. And I think it's symptomatic of what the club's about.
Straitened times these days, Gordon. It's difficult to put your hand in your pocket and find the money for this occasion, but a full house here is extraordinary, isn't it?
Well, the club's history is all about giving, and tonight me and Martin thought about 15,000, but there's going to be 55,000 here. It just shows what the club is different from any other club in the world. And really, I don't think you'd be too excited about going to see ex-players. I mean, I wouldn't like to go and watch me again playing football, but they're coming out for the club, for the reputation of the club, and to give one of these players a fantastic send-off.
Gordon, you've had some managerial puzzles to solve in your time, but involving Ralph Little and who else? You've got Martin O'Fire, players like that in this lineup with Roy Keane. How are you going to solve that?
I don't know if I have. We'll just put things together, and it's amazing that players, you know, play this level, but the celebrities are petrified. You know, and I'm quite petrified about it. I've seen Martin's team. I've never felt like this since we faced Barcelona here about 3 or 4 years ago. I should never wear a light blue shirt because there's a few stains be here at the end of the night.
Martin, I don't want to heap the pressure on, but on paper, your team's the clear favourite here.
Well, we should win the game in a canter, really, because we are so strong and Gordon's team's so poor that we should win. We should win very, very easily. Unfortunately, you have to make changes in the team, and there are 1 or 2 players whose ability I do know, like Didier Agat and Momo Silla. Well, I used to know their ability, and there's 1 or 2 other celebrities whose ability I have no idea about, so I think that might even things up.
Good luck, gentlemen. We're all look forward to finding out.
Cheers, thank you.
Dion Dublin.
Here they are indeed, broken off from their warm-up very kindly. Dion, come to you in a second, but Henrik, back in this stadium, back in front of a massive crowd and back in those famous hoops. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's fantastic to be back. And it seems to be a very good crowd here as well tonight, so it's good. It's nice to be back.
You look, I think you say in English, fit as a butcher's dog, Henrik. Nothing's changed.
Well, look at me after 20 minutes, you see how fit I am.
On paper, Dion, they look strong, I have to say.
Well, on the pitch as well, I've seen them warm up, they look strong on the pitch as well, so I think we're in trouble, but we're not here about who wins, who loses, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we all want to win, but he's come here because it's a good cause. We've all come here because it's a good cause, and we've all come here because John Kennedy's a top bloke, and he's doing a great thing. That's why we come back.
It is indeed, but we do need to talk about football as well. They want to see some tricks here.
Yeah.
What's the formation? I mean, what's the game plan?
I think you're talking to the wrong person when it comes to tricks. I've never had a trick in my book, so leave it to this man. Unfortunately, I got the short straw having to mark this guy. What a nightmare.
And Henrik, if you don't score, it's going to be a disappointment, isn't it? You're going to have to score.
Well, steady on.
No, I mean, as Dion said, I mean, we're not here for winning or losing. We're here for a good cause. So we're going to have a good night, and hopefully we're going to get some goals scored so the audience can clap. That's the most important thing.
It is indeed. Best part of 60,000 people have turned out. They're delighted to see you here. Good luck to both of you.
Cheers, thank you.
Right. First of all, a couple of things. This is, have you seen their team? Come on, I like you. If you've seen their team, I was speaking to Roy before the game that a manager's body language can give it away. And I've never been so fucking under pressure since we played Barcelona here. And never wear a light blue shirt when you're playing Barcelona, because the stains keep coming here. Always wear a white shirt when you know you've got to get the job in. I'll give you the team to start with. Okay, we're all going to get on. We'll chop and change. We want to do it. It'll be Patrick in goals, Jeff there, Dion, Quinton, Chalky. Three in midfield would be Roy, Ralph, Wary, and up front I'm going to the theory that the brothers can run. Dwight here, Martin Fire out there, and Dan Campbell there. Okay. Now, I'm playing an over 40s league. Do not get strung out all over the place. And don't be standing at the touchline there, Martin, and in there, Dan. Come on, you'll be alright. Try and play in there sometimes. Try and play in there, and then when we lose the ball, try and get back together so we're all close between Roy, Ralph, and all that. So what we're saying is a lot of short passes. We don't want long ones giving the ball away. And when people get close to Roy and Ralph and Webby in there, nice wee pass out. Dwight, you just go and do your thing in there. And if you can go and do what Messi does, then the game's on. Okay, we'll try.
Back to Celtic Park. Russell Watson just facing Nessun Dorma in the build-up to this occasion this evening. That's not bad for starters. That's got the hairs on the back of most necks up. From the famous tenor Russell Watson himself. And he's a huge Celtic fan as well. So here comes the first substitution as planned. John Hartson. Just listen to his reception.
Steve, what a brave man. Talking to him before the game, and you could see the scars from the operation on his head, and to think what he's been through, and he's back, and it's great to see him back.
His former teammate Chris Sutton, who won 7 trophies in his time with the club, is on for John Hartson. John Kennedy will depart shortly as well. Meanwhile, this is Ralph Little for Manchester United. A fire. This is promising. York, surely the first goal, it is. Manchester United lead inside 2.5 minutes, and there is the traditional smile on the face of Dwight York again.
Well, he's the man that was moaning before the game and looking for last-minute reinforcements. No problem to Dwight, just like during his playing career. that position inside the box, Steve, right on the penalty spot, almost. He's not going to miss. United 1-up. Well, there's no way Dwight York was going to miss that. When that ball landed at his feet, 12 yards out, he was bound for the back of the net. And a good save there from Paddy Bonner. As you say, Steve, 51 years of age?
Wonderful moment for one final time for John Kennedy, whose career was so cruelly cut short at a tender age, to take the ovation of the Celtic Park faithful.
Well, it really is so sad when someone's career ends so quickly, Stephen. He never really had a chance to get going for Celtic and for his country, simply because of the injury. And as we say in the game of football, you can be lucky sometimes, your career can go great for you, you can be unlucky some other times.
Bobby Pettis still only 37 as well. And here's a Celtic player. That's McClare. York is onside. He has Campbell up in support, and he's unselfishly found Darren Campbell, who this time couldn't miss. And the Manchester United Legends lead by 2-0.
Oh, what a surprise this scoreline is, Stephen. How cool was Dwight York there? Could have taken it on himself, could have smashed it past Pat Bonner, but just decides at the last moment to square it across the face of the goal. Darren Campbell, does he keep himself just onside? Referee's assistant says he does. 2-0. No way he was going to miss the second one. No way, missed the first one. Well done, Darren.
And let me tell you, that is a huge moment to score in the red of Manchester United for Manchester-born Darren Campbell.
Well, he's had a moment he'll want to forget, Steve, and now another moment he'll never want to forget.
Some reaction down on the touchline, and join Ned Bolting.
Yeah, I've got John Kennedy here. John, pride, I should imagine, in the teammates, your former teammates who've turned out here, pride in your club and the crowd who've turned out to support you in the great cause tonight.
Yeah, I think it's obviously tonight's a big occasion. You see the crowd and the turnout from the legends and the celebrities, so it's a fantastic spectacle of a game. So hopefully Celtic can get back into the game a bit more, but it's all for a good cause.
Well, absolutely. Just describe that moment when you walked off the pitch there, John.
Oh, it was something I'd planned before. I'd actually hoped to come off after 2 minutes, but it dragged on a wee bit just with my knee. But it's just obviously a great honour to be here and part of this. Great honour to be part of this club, and it's obviously a proud moment walking off.
And of course, John, as you've just alluded to, it's not going to be the perfect night for these Celtic fans unless you turn this around. 2-0 to Manchester United, that was never on the plans, was it?
No, it was never on the plans, but it's one of these things. But the result doesn't matter, but I think they'd like to make it a bit more challenging for themselves, get back into the game and hopefully get the crowd going again.
OK, thanks very much, John.
Cheers.
And as John was talking there, Momo Silla replaced Steve Collins. So the ex-professionals' numbers raised in the Celtic ranks.
Roy before that tackle, he was trying to get him from behind. 2-0 up. Roy doesn't want to lose the game now. No way.
Never did, and still doesn't do friendlies. That's towards Larsson, and then the chance for Nicky Byrne. And one he couldn't take. Put on a plate for him by Henrik Larsson.
Oh, you're spot on, Steve. Put on a plate from Henrik Larsson. Not for the first time in his career. Oh, what's 6 yards out? How could Nicky Byrne miss that?
Can they make up for it here? It's Sutton! Woodward away by Brazier, hit Kilty. It's a scramble, and then a penalty given by the referee Des Roche. It's a penalty to Celtic.
Henrik Larsson, John Hartson, Chris Sutton. Not forgetting the current group managed by one of the biggest heroes of them all, Irishman Neil Lennon. And as Celtic has grown, its fan base has grown with it, from its humble roots serving as impoverished immigrants to the worldwide support it enjoys today. Celtic remains a club at the heart of the community, and the late Tommy Burns, one of 16 managers to serve the club, described it as like playing for a people and a cause to do so. The fact that they achieved it with 11 local guys only adds to the mystique of the Celtic story. And along the way, heroes have been created and celebrated. Willie Maley, Patsy Gallagher, Jimmy McGrory, the Prince of Goalkeepers Johnny Thompson, Billy McNeil, Jimmy Johnson and the rest of the Lisbon Lions all earned hero status among the faithful. And there have been many more, including the likes of Paul McStay, Roy Aitken, Kenny Dalglish, Danny McGrain. That policy of being open to all, regardless of race, creed or colour, has differentiated Celtic from that day, and those values ring true still. Celtic's core value is that of a Scottish club with proud Irish roots, and charity in 2011 is as much part of the club's DNA as it was towards the end of the 19th century. Celtic quickly became a force to be reckoned with, and after they'd built a solid side, they soon went on to become... Celtic were formed nearly 125 years ago in the east end of Glasgow by a Maris brother from Sligo called Walfrid and a group of like-minded local businessmen. They'd one aim: to put food on the dinner table of widows, orphans and unemployed. The establishment of the club in the late 1887 at St Mary's Church in the Carlton ensured that not only Glasgow's Irish immigrants had a better chance, but that anyone who needed the help of the club could get the team of the day, winning 6 consecutive championships in the first decade of the 20th century. That was the first of many firsts, but even that achievement, as great as it was, could be eclipsed as the club grew and developed. Celtic were the first team to win 9 consecutive championships under Jock Stein, and the first team to win all 5 available trophies in one season. But they were also the first team from the UK to win the European Cup, and the only Scottish club ever